Hi, welcome to another episode of PSI's Random Talk. I am Chidi Aku, one of the marketing managers at PSI Software SC, and I'm joined by one of our product managers. Can you introduce yourself?
Sure. Hello, I'm Oğuz Öztürk. I'm a product manager in supply chain planning department, and I'm currently located in Brussels.
Okay, thank you. Welcome to this episode.
Thank you very much for having me.
Okay, fantastic. So I know that in your work, as a product manager, you deal a lot with PSImetals demand and sales planning.
Yes.
Can you tell us what is PSImetals demand and sales planning?
Sure. So we think of it as a container of demand planning, sales and operations planning, and due date quoting. So we have these three segments combining and making it to what we call demand and sales planning. Inside each of these sections, you can think of it in a short way. Demand planning is predicting what will be the orders, what will be the next demand to be sold. The sales and orders planning is another world, but shortly it is balancing what is coming as an input from demand from customers and balancing them with our capacities, inventories, with the factory can deliver and produce really. And the due date quoting is like realistic order promising dates, so that when someone asks you when you can deliver this order, you need to give them exact dates. So if you think of it in a shorter example, think about it. The whole thing is like running a bakery. Bakery owner wants to know how much bread we will be producing tomorrow. Of course, it can be wrong. No one will guess it 100%, but that's demand planning. You need to guess and you need to plan it for that. SNOP in this case, you need to check in your stocks. You need to check ingredients, flour, and all other ingredients you need to produce for the next days. Are you ready? Do you need to go shopping and buy more? That's sales and operations planning. And DDQ is like someone comes and order custom cake, and they tell you when I can pick it up. You cannot tell them between 2 to 5 days come in some time. You need to be realistic and exactly telling them when they will take their orders. So in short, it's like this.
Oh, great. A great use of analogies there.
Thank you very much.
And, I've been hearing some exciting news, which is about this move of, PSImetals demand and sales planning, basically from desktop to cloud.
Yes.
Can you tell us about that?
For sure. So the digitalization is already in the business long time, and you can see that our customers wants it from us. And of course, that's something makes our life easier. We were thinking, we already have our desktop applications. We can go and build more and more on there. But at the end, the idea is need to verify. They need to access it everywhere. When there is the internet, they should be able to access it. They don't need server rooms and big computers with them, because all the huge data that they need to process, it will be in the cloud, and it will be much faster in the computational power as well. So when you think about it, we already in the progress of turning our tools to cloud. We already did with our, for example, due date quoting is already in cloud. Our SNOP is already in cloud, and much more other tools that we have in PSI being available in the cloud market. So this aligns with our vision to become a software as a service company at the end.
All right, but what is the benefit of, having something like, due date quoting, the whole PSI demand and sales planning in the cloud? What's the benefit of that?
Well, I can already explain this, giving some use cases, what our customers give us. For example, so these sales and operations planning, let's start with that. And there, it's not easy because it's not one person dependent. So there are multiple departments in the company: sales department, production department, logistics department. They wanted to be involved, and they need to give help to give a decision, make a plan. So if you want to make it old school in an Excel, it will be an unmanageable Excel that no one wants to use anymore. And this, our benefit is it's online, it's always accessed and always real time updated. So if there's a if there's a new change in the market, you can directly apply it, and everyone will be knowing and seeing the latest version directly. You don't really follow up on who is the managing this process and everything. And it's also important because another customer reported us, they were really dependent on a human being. So if there was only one guy in their company managing all this S&OP process in Excel, and if this person comes to a retirement, they don't have this knowledge in anywhere in the company. So this, what we are trying now, make it a process that is understandable for everyone, and it will be accessible from every part of the company.
Okay, that definitely sounds like a really great benefit. So, while we're on the new, what else is new with demand and sales planning?
Yeah, so we are always collecting feedback from our customers and listening their pain points. We are for example, we did increase S&OP scenarios, so now you can create as many scenarios you want, because sometimes you evaluate there's a best case scenario, worst case scenario, all alternative scenarios that you would like to see the result of your profitability before it happens. So you wanted to really follow to a scenario, go through all the steps like it was the reality, and see the end result of it and compare the end results where you want to reach. So this is one of the biggest changes we did. And as I said, we are transferring in the cloud. That's also really big work for us, and we are really proud that we are already in cloud. Other than that, we are working on making our software more efficient. For example, recently we did we have in due date quoting, we have available to promise quotas, which means when the customer asks you, can I get this many tons in this date, as the requested due date, you need to give them an exact time. And this time is given, are you available to promise this amount? And this available to promise checkings can be done now with our latest technology, can be done in seconds rather than hours or weeks the customer were waiting for get an answer. So that's, of course, it's a benefit.
So was all that done in the release 5.28?
Actually, no. This is coming from a couple of releases already, and I was summarizing all the latest news. But in 5.28, we have a new functionality that we can deploy extra independent quota constraints on the available to promise quotas, and there you can specify different dimensions of your choice. You can specify customer as a dimension. You can specify also locations like countries or continents. So, for example, you are now wanted to sell more to Latin American continent, so you put more of your allocation of your quotas to Latin American customers, and that would be so not because you don't have enough to give the other regions. You just select it and choose it on purpose to allocate smartly and strategically your quotas, which was not available before.
Okay, and these are the new features that are coming with 5.28.
This is already implemented in 5.28.
Okay.
And if you are now, we can talk about 5.29 and more.
Yeah.
There will be of course new technologies coming. We will be implementing already take into account implementing forecasting with AI and machine learning modules included, and planning side we are thinking of capacity reservations, for example, for that customers when they ask for a quota, they are not really asking an order. They are just saying, do you have it or not? And with that, if they say, okay, I don't give an order right now to you, I want you to reserve my capacity for 2 weeks, and if I don't come back with an order to you, then you can release it and give someone else. So sometimes customers, because metals business, it's fluctuating, and sometimes they have cash inflow a lot, and sometimes not that much. And when they know in next future, in next month, they will have an order, but not exactly know it on right now. They want you to reserve some capacity, because when the time comes, when they tell you, can you give me that? You might say, I don't have enough quota for you. So there's possibility to do the reservations beforehand.
Okay, these are all fantastic features, but what benefits have you actually heard, some feedback you've heard from customers, regarding PSI Metals demand and sales planning?
Yeah, so as I said, one of them already, to not to repeat, but just to mention, we are trying to make independent than to a humans, really, but dependent on the system process itself. So it's, if someone is not there, then the process should not be stopped, and that's exactly what we are trying to do. And of course, there are also other benefits. As I said, the due date quoting is a must have in our business. So everyone, when there's a new order comes, every customer wanted to give a date to their customers. That's not something you can avoid. But sometimes these answers can take days, can take weeks, and we have already have customers reporting us with our solutions. They can do it in seconds rather than the days or weeks. They were doing same way the SNOP. They were doing it maybe not in an Excel sheet, but they were making meetings on meetings, wasting more times and calculating things in a different platforms, and combine the inputs and differently. Now with our integrated tools, they don't need to do that. With our tools, they can do it really. And they're saying the 3 weeks process go back to the 3 minutes, basically.
Oh, so thank you for that. I mean, it's great to hear this feedback from customers and that they are actually getting these great benefits from our solutions. So thank you for joining us on this episode of
Thank you
Host.
very much for having me.
And so there you have it. As you've heard wonderful things about our solutions, and you've heard the benefits that you can definitely profit from using our solutions. So if you are interested in what our solution can do for you and how it can assist you on your digitalization journey, PSImetals is definitely the product for you. Stay tuned, watch more of our episodes, learn more, get in contact with us. Till the next episode, goodbye.